Have you ever had someone on this show with a mohawk?
No.
Yes, I'm the first.
And you're going to be in the ring with her, Corey. I'm super psyched. I think it's just an idea. It's an idea.
It's been a blast. You're the best. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Hindsight Hacking. And today is a very, very special guest joining us. The one, the only, Cristy Code Red Nickel. So if you guys don't know Cristy, you are missing out. I'm going to read a little bit of her bio right now, but Cristy is on such a mission to help so many people truly treat their bodies in a healing way, eat food in a healing way, right? Get rid of the words, little things like snacks, get rid of things like sugar, right? Like you don't have to work out. You just got to move. You just got to heal your body, all this good stuff. Anyway, so for those of you that don't know Cristy, she is the author of the Code Red Revolution, which details her 7 simple rules for losing all the weight you want without pills, shakes, diet foods, or exercise. And she has been in the health and fitness industry since 1994. Now, Cristy is also a former professional boxer and a celebrity, and definitely celebrity to this show. So Cristy, you're the best. Thank you for making time for us today. I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on our show and how excited to have you in our lives.
Well, thank you guys. And I was just thinking to myself, have you ever had someone on this show with a mohawk?
No.
Yes, I'm the first. First.
Ron, you are. Ron is usually one with crazy hair, but definitely not the well put together mohawk. So
no, I don't think I can pull off the mohawk. But before we talk about this amazing, cool idea I had of you and Corey in a ring boxing, why don't you take a moment to tell everyone about your journey? Your journey is so powerful. Like just what you're trying to do and what you have done has been life-changing for so many people. And like Corey said, we're just happy to be, to know you and to hear all these amazing stories. But why don't you tell a little bit about Miss?
Well, this is nice because I've gotten to know you guys both and we have a relationship. So this is great. And I just appreciate you guys asking me to be on. Well, my kind of a quick elevator pitch is I created a nutrition program that enables people to lose 10% of their body weight every month without shakes, pills, diet foods, or exercise. So I teach people how to lose weight by real food, water, and sleep. And, it's so funny to me because when you hear that, you're just like, because the diet industry is so saturated. It is the most saturated market out there. How am I excelling in a saturated market? And because it ain't sexy, but it's got some teeth. And yeah, real food, water, and sleep is where it's at. And I think that somehow, some way, the way that I deliver my message is absolutely, it's hitting home on a lot of people who are just sick of the bull crap. And the whole thing got started because I was raised very poor in the mountains of northern Idaho. So when I got out of high school and I wanted to go to college, my parents could not help me and my sisters. They just didn't have any extra money for college or to help with anything. And so I was bartending and waiting my way through college and trying to put myself through nursing school. And I was approached by a real boxing coach who saw me in a boxing gym and I was taking my first boxing class. And he said, "How long have you been boxing?" I said, 44 minutes. And he said, would you like to fight pro? Because you have a real knack for this. Well, I said, "Pal, listen, I'm in nursing school. I could not care less about fighting. I don't know anything about it. I have no desire." And he said, "But you can earn some money." And I went, "Whoa, wait, I'm sorry, what?" And this is sanctioned, federally licensed professional boxing and not like underground topless boxing. And so I started fighting literally for my dinner. I was so broke and so poor that I needed all that money. And I made $500 on my first fight. And I just kept fighting. I'd get in the ring and I'd knock the girl out. And I would kept fight after fight after fight after fight. And 15 pro fights later, 2 world titles, 5 knockouts and almost 8 years. I'm one of the top 3 most dangerous females on the planet. I had no idea that it would get to where it is, but somewhere in there, I started to get fat. And I couldn't believe it because, hey, we've all been trained. We've all been taught that you need to eat less and move more. Well, I'm training almost 5 hours a day as an elite level world-class athlete. How on earth am I getting fat? So I I had to really step back. I did some research. I found out that I was fat because of the crap I was shoving in my pie hole. We're talking about pasta and Costco M&Ms, the ones that ziplock get the top.
I don't
And
know anything about that.
yeah, right. I just thought that it didn't matter what I ate because I was training so much. And indeed it did. I changed my diet. I lost my weight. I realized that if exercise has nothing to do with weight loss, then everybody can lose weight. And it doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair, you're missing a leg, or you're old or young, or you got a bum back or a bum knee. It doesn't matter. So I created the Code Red Revolution, the Code Red lifestyle, to spread the message of hope and healing. And I took myself from being on Idaho State food stamps to a $10 million company in just over 3 years. And it has been exploding ever since.
Oh, Cristy, that's insane. But I think you glossed over the part there at the end. Food stamps to 10 million. Like, you've told this on your own podcast. So Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle, for anybody that wants to go there, I'm sure we'll have it in the show notes. But you had to stay in a friend's house. You had to, your old, I think it was a beat up Honda that you kept even beyond the first mill, I think, for a while. Right. But food stamps to 10 million, not even a residence that you could call your own at the point when things were born. If you could tell a little bit of that story, because people got to understand, if they dream big enough and they act well and they work hard enough, like good things can happen. But you've got to move for it. Like, things aren't going to be given to you, and you're an example of that right there.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, totally. And I was living out of my car. I had $36,000 stolen from me from a guy that I was in a relationship with. I was fired from my job. It all happened all at once. I had no place to live, no money. My Honda Accord was overheating. I was absolutely at rock bottom. And I've been at rock bottom many times in my life. That was just one of the rock bottoms. You know, I was molested when I was a kid. I was beat up in my first marriage by a guy that pushed me out of a moving car and beat me up. I had to wear long sleeves to cover up bruises, and it's been over and over and over. I've been kicked in the teeth and I've gotten back up. And I remember that time where my back when I was 18, my first husband beat me up, and I remember he choked me out, and I had passed out and I was face down on the living room floor. And when I came to, I was bleeding from my mouth, and I had to push myself up off the floor. And that was the hardest push-up. And this girl right here has done a lot of push-ups in my day. That was the hardest push-up I've ever done, but it was the one that meant the most, because when I pushed up out of that floor and wiped my blood off my mouth, I said, that's it. And I walked out. And so a lot of times I've been kicked in the teeth, and I was receiving Idaho State food stamps because I knew how to get weight off of people. I knew how to, my program was solid. I knew a lot about weight loss, and I knew a lot about the body and about that aspect of Code Red, but I didn't understand how to monetize. I didn't even know what the word meant. I didn't know anything about websites or funnels or how to actually build a business and make money. So I was charging like $149 for a fully customized nutrition program that I would hand write and put it in a manila envelope and flatten little tabs down. So I was truly, truly at rock bottom, where I had to reach up to touch the bottom. And so I built the company that the Code Red that everybody knows now. You know, they're like, oh, overnight success. I've been grinding for 25 plus years. So yeah, I've been through some hard times, but all those hard times carved out the dream life that I have now. So I wouldn't give them up for nothing.
No, and what I love is you're super transparent. You truly, truly care, and you want the best for your community. Doesn't matter where they are, who they are. You are so welcoming to get them, to help them through. But I think you just did a podcast around your assumptions about me, and one that was an amazing show. Like, honestly, because the transparency that you gave, and you start your every show with how much you thank people, and it is so genuine. Like, we know Cristy, and she is so genuinely wanting to help you out, and she truly cares, and her community is phenomenal. You just had an event, and I know you had an event planned for my birthday, which I'm really excited about, August 28th. So thank you so much for that one. But
just for you, just for me.
But your events, I mean, it's a family thing. There's so many people coming, and I think Carrie said, people stand in line and want to meet you, and they're so afraid, but you're so approachable. But to them, you're on this pedestal, right? But you're like, no, come up here with me, and you're so involved with them. Why is that important to you? And what do you want your people to know more about when it comes to you being involved with them?
It's so funny to me because now at this point, after having been grinding for so many years in this industry and been in the industry since '94, and the success of the different things I've done and the MTV show and the magazine covers, I'm super thankful that now I get recognized, in almost any airport that I go to, and it's fun, especially in Boise or Idaho, the Pacific Northwest. This is my area, is where I'm from, Idaho and stuff, and people will recognize me and they'll come up and then they're always shocked at how friendly I am. And I give a hug and stuff, and I'm shocked that they're shocked. I don't know why people think because I want to hear that. Fills my love cup when I hear, Cristy, I've lost 42 pounds. Cristy, I'm off my diabetic meds. Cristy, I no longer sleep with a CPAP mask, and that is what I love. And so how have I been able to, I believe the reason I've been able to make it in this industry and stand out is because of the transparency, is because of the authenticity that is lacking in everything that we do. Photoshop, filtered, fake, everywhere we look. I refuse to hide my cellulite. I refuse to hide my stretch marks and my bruises and my scars. I refuse to be someone I'm not. So this is the exact same Cristy you're going to see, whether it's a church parking lot or whether it's at the Costco food court or right here or at one of our events. And one of the biggest compliments I've ever received that I really hold dearly, I really am super proud of this, is that people say, whenever they meet me at an event, that I make them feel like they're the only person in the room. And I think that I do is I don't say anything. I just look at them. I might nod my head, but I don't say, and rush them along. And yet I take about 60 seconds a person because there are hundreds of them sometimes and we've got to get through the line. But
Right.
by just looking in their eyes and not saying anything and not moving, don't talk, don't fumble with anything, don't write anything down, just look at them. And people they break down, they cry. That's always my goal, to get them to cry. And they do. And so I taught all my staff and my coaches and mentors that when you're at events and you are talking to a Code Red Rebel, your job is to keep your mouth shut. Or my phone sales girls, my girls that do phone sales or that do mentor phone calls, because we have a thing called the Lifeline where someone can call a coach at any time for $20.
Oh, nice.
And I say, your job is to not say a word. Let them talk. They need to feel understood and heard. And so anybody that comes to our events, they are going to walk away feeling loved, understood, heard, and that they know that we care, because I do have tough love, but tough love only works if people know that you love them.
Yes. The tough love aspect of, like, it's so true every time we talk. Like you're like, I'm going to be direct, I'm going to be to the point, but you come at it and you care, right? Like you show them you care, you show them that you love them. I think Ron and I love working with you so much because of the directness. You're like, hey guys, that was horrible. Or, hey guys, do better. Or this is great. Like, and it's like, it gives equal value. Right. And I just love that about you. And I love that you take that into every aspect of your life, whether we talk here or if somebody sees in the airport, it's the same Cristy. I love that. So, but let's talk about Code Red. Obviously boxing to the Code Red lifestyle is kind of the trajectory, but tell us about the name. Tell us about Code Red. Tell the audience, like, where did the Code Red come from?
I've desperately wanted to be a nurse since I was 15 years old. I even to this day at 45 years old, I am obsessed with nurses. My sister Carrie is an RN, and I love nurses. I don't know what it is. I just love them. I highly respect them. Then I was putting myself through nursing school, and I did finish. And I had at the time, and people that know this, you'll know this soon enough. I change my hair color all the time. It's been every single color you can possibly imagine. At the time, it was red. And so my sister Carrie, I'm sitting in class. We were on the phone one day, and I'm in one of my classes. Class hadn't started yet, and I had my first boxing match coming up, and she said, "Sis, you got to have a ring name." And I said, "A ring name?" And she said, like Cristy Black Widow Nickel. And I said, "A ring name?" She goes, "Yeah, boxers have ring names." And I said, "Oh, well, what do I do?" And she goes, "I don't know, like Cristy, like Code Red Nickel." And I said, she goes, code for medicine and red for your red hair. And I said, "Cristy Code Red Nickel." All right. Well, I didn't care because I just cared about making money. I cared about fighting to make my rent. And so I was like, Code Red sounds cool. Well, holy moly, it was voted one of the best ring names in boxing history. And I just kept the Code Red going. And people don't even know that my last name is Nickel unless they Google it. And then it's just Cristy Code Red. It's Cristy Code Red all the time. Paperwork I fill out, it's Cristy Code Red. And so I'll get people that, and of course they say Miles Code Red, my husband, or Carrie Code Red, my sister. And so it's always like everybody thinks, the kids, my niece and nephew, when they were little, they thought that was my last name. That's Aunt Cristy Code Red, and so it's really funny. I've just kept that whole name going and kept the brand going. And I've kind of taken the brand, a very tough brand. And people know when they see the Code Red logo and they see the stuff, the products that we have with the Code Red on it, when it says "I'm a rebel" or "I take your life back," or any of the stuff that we talk about on Code Red, they know the brand means something because I am so tough. And they know that we take this seriously. Our Code Red mission statement says, "We believe food holds the power to heal or poison. We choose foods that heal." And we take this seriously. Nobody's wearing a shirt that says "I took phentermine pills" on it, or "I love my Weight Watchers group." And I'm not dogging on those groups. It's just that nobody's really, but man, when they're a Code Red rebel, they are proud of that. And so much of that came from my boxing background, came from the real tough background and the tough love and the tough exterior and the toughness of this program, and the fact that I expect you to be 100% compliant if you come to me. If not, don't come to me unless you're serious.
I love it. I love it. You brought up boxing, and I can't get this out of my mind. Like, I'm trying to put myself in your shoes. If I was doing something for 44 minutes and someone said, "Hey, let's go be a pro," I'd probably, I don't know if I'd have the guts to do it. Like what? Like the guts, you're like, "Yeah, let's do it," but what was going through your mind?
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I did not understand what it was like. I mean, I knew that we didn't have headgear. We only have a mouthpiece and we have 6-ounce gloves, but I didn't realize how strong the girls were at 154 pounds, which was my fighting weight. I didn't know about the injuries. I didn't know my nose would come off the side of my face when I fought my world title fight in Beijing. I didn't know that I fought a girl out of Philly that split my lip open, and then I would swallow 2 quarts of blood. I had no idea about the black eyes, the bloody noses, the broken noses, the concussions. I didn't know. All I cared about was making rent and continuing through the next semester of school. I mean, it was survival mode. And I didn't know that. I just kind of I could just, all I cared about was the money, and I didn't care about the fame. I didn't care about seeing my name in lights. Later on, when all that came, then that was fun and that was cool. But I wanted to get through school. So I didn't understand what I was really getting myself into. Now I look back and I just go, oh dear God. I mean, I fought at Madison Square Garden, and my parents flew out to New York City to watch me. And I think, I'm not a parent, but I think back of watching your kid. I mean, my dad was sitting there just like he couldn't watch. My mom was screaming, "Killer, Cristy, killer." And, and it was like, so I can't imagine how hard it was for my folks. My dad, a police officer and a minister, watching his daughter go through 15 pro fights. So it's a nasty, nasty sport that I would suggest everybody avoid at all costs. Don't go into boxing, go to welding school, or go be a doctor, or go do something, don't go box. I mean, it's dangerous. It's nasty sport. It's political. It's dirty. It's crooked. It's all full of scams. And I would not suggest. So I didn't know, which was probably a good thing, that I was getting into such a crooked sport.
Crazy. See, this is why we do this show. Ron and I get to learn so much from fun people like yourself. And like boxing, we would have never had that knowledge. I would have never known it was broken.
And you're going to be in the ring with her, Corey. I'm super excited. I think it's just an idea. It's an idea.
No, I was in one fight in my life in the 6th grade, and I got punched one time and went down, and I was done. Like that was it. Like, it never went back. I didn't have the guts to get right back up on that one. So, but Cristy, how many people, I guess, I know predominantly women, but how many people have you helped?
We've had over 53,000 at the time that we're all recording this right now. We've had over 53,000 people come through my program.
And what's the mission? How many do you want to help?
Oh,
1 million.
My goal is that every person on this planet at least hears about the option to choose Code Red. Whether they choose something else or they don't, that's totally fine. But my goal is that Code Red continues to spread all over the planet. My goal, I've always said, my goal was that President Trump would lose 40 pounds on Code Red, and that I would have overnight success. But that's always been kind of a joke. But I would love for the message of hope and healing to spread through the world, that you don't need the shakes, the pills. You don't need to kill yourself in the gym. You don't need to starve to death. It's real food. It's meat, vegetables, nuts, eggs, seeds, seafoods, and fat. And it's water and it's sleep. And it's so easy. It's not hard. So if everybody could hear that message and have the option to choose, yeah, I would love that. And I'd love to watch the diet industry crumble and fall in my lifetime.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. I mean, thinking about the amount of people that you've already helped, and I know it's just going to keep growing. That goes back to your mission and the response. I mean, I know you feel responsible, and I know you and Carrie talk about you wanting it more for people than they necessarily want. How hard is it because I know you invest so much of yourself and your time into everybody. How hard is that for you?
It's actually has quite literally eaten my lunch. I have recently experienced some health problems that I haven't shared, and I don't mind sharing. I mean, I'm an open book. I've experienced some pretty serious health problems, and that's because I operate at a real high stress level, and that's not good. And it has slowly just worn me down to where my organs are actually starting to shut down and fail on me. And I know that sounds, don't worry, I'm going to be all right. But I have let it get to me for years. I let it bother me. When somebody comes to my program, they lose weight and they gain it back. Or when somebody comes to my program and they're on the program and I catch them at the Costco food court having the $1.50 slice of pizza and Diet Coke. I mean, it destroys me. I hate it. I'm mad. I'm angry. I can't sleep. I mean, that has been the hardest part of Code Red is disassociating myself from that, is not saying, because I feel like I failed them as a coach. When that happens, I say, oh my gosh, I failed to convey how important this is. I failed as a coach. I didn't fail as a coach. It's just easier. It's easier to say that, but I still feel so responsible for him. And it has taken counseling. It has taken me working at it every day. It has taken me backing off and shifting what I do for Code Red to get my health back in order and stop taking things so personally and stop internalizing things, because it is quite literally breaking me down, because I can't seem to let it go. And I get so mad. I get so angry. I'm like, I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I've worked so hard with this person and they let it all go. They pissed it away. And I just get so, and then what it does, it keeps me up at night. And so it has been a constant work on self-care and a work with not internalizing it and saying I'm a bad coach when someone goes off the program, goes off the rails and doesn't follow the program. So it has been my number one hardest thing has been not letting it get to me, because it has gotten to me.
So again, for anybody listening, that right there shows that you more than care. You care too much. That is driving you to the doctor. Like, come on, we definitely need to let that go. But everyone out there listening, you get a person in Cristy that cares. It's not a dollar. It's not the dollars. It's about doing things the right way. It's about, actually not having to take a shake or a pill and actually eating real food. So anyway, Love
And
all
Corey,
that.
let me just add, you're exactly
Yeah.
right. It's not a dollar, because I have made millions, and I don't want to sound arrogant when I say that, because I'm very proud of the fact that I have done so well and Code Red's done well. But it's not when I think about money, how much more money do I need? I don't. It's not about the money anymore for me. It's not about. I have a wonderful relationship with a husband. We live a great life. I have 2 healthy dogs. I am living a dream life. It's not anymore about the money. It used to be. But now I think about money, and I think, if I could just have another million, what would I do? I would run bigger ads so that more people would hear. I actually dream about bigger ads. I dream about, what if I could get on, Fox News? What if I could get on there? What if I could get more people to hear the message? So it's not, it used to be about the money. And then when I hit a certain point, it quit being about the money. And now it's about reaching the people that are hurting. They're desperate. They're hopeless. They don't think there is any other way. They've tried everything. And that's now my new passion, because I don't want another makeup palette. I already drive a Tesla. I don't care about the money. I really do care about spreading that message anymore.
Oh, give me chills over here. All right. In hindsight's, our goal of the show is to hack our guest hindsight to give our listeners clearer foresight. And so in hindsight, from the fighting to pay your rent, from the food stamps to the $10 million, like what's the message? And I want to, in relation to getting knocked down and getting back up, because you are the epitome of being able to do that. And so many people get knocked down, and they do like my 6th grade fight, they don't get back up. And so how do you push them, whether it's for their health or for their business or for their family? Like, come on, there's bad things happen all the time. Like, we all need to get back up and go fix it, or step away when it's the right thing to step away. But you know what I mean? Like, you're the epitome. Like, what's the advice that you give the audience on that?
I speak a lot to entrepreneurs, and this is something I'm so passionate about. And only 1% of entrepreneurs actually make over $100,000 during their career. And so many people have a great idea, and they have $1 million idea. What do entrepreneurs? We solve problems. That's what we do. And they have something that would solve a big problem, but they give up too soon. And they and let me tell you, I hear you. I mean, believe me, I hear you. When my business coaches, I have 3 of them, when my business coaches tell me, all right, this is what you need to do next. Do you think I don't feel fear? I do feel fear, just like you might be feeling fear right now. And I'm only speaking to entrepreneurs right now. So if you feel that, and yet there is somebody out there that is smarter than you giving you advice to go in that direction, you have got to step out and take that chance, because it could be that moment that you break through. And entrepreneurs don't do that. And so I encourage you to take that step of faith and stop waiting. I also encourage you to stop waiting till it's perfect in order to do it. Stop waiting until your makeup is perfect, your hair is perfect, your backdrop. We do not care that there are dirty dishes in your sink and there's a diaper hanging off your 2-year-old. Hold up the phone and say, hey, I got a new Mary Kay product. It's a great foundation, and hold it up in front of the phone and say, I can ship it to you same day shipping. Message me if you want this. Whatever you are, whatever business you have, stop waiting until the sun and the moons align and that the tears of the Tibetan monks. Get up, get dressed, put on a bra, and start creating some content. A lot of it is on you, and you're waiting for the perfect time, and you're giving up too soon. Now, if you are in weight loss, if you're not an entrepreneur, you're just listening to me for whatever reason, you're listening to all of us right now, I encourage you, you think right now you're thinking to yourself, well, it's just something else, I'm going to fail. Yeah, I hear you. You might have spent hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars of crap that has failed you. And you're just so sick of it. You're so sick of feeling like a failure. You're so sick of failing every time. Can I just tell you, it doesn't take much. It just start with the water. Can you just start with drinking water. You can do this. You got to think of all the times in your life where you have done hard things and say to yourself, I can do hard things. I watched people birth 3 babies without an epidural. Don't tell me I'm just a stay-at-home mom. You are selling peas and carrots to that 2-year-old. Okay. You are creating content to your 4-year-old every day when you're creating games. You have got what it takes to do this. Believe me, this weight loss thing ain't the hardest thing you've ever done, and ain't the hardest thing you're gonna do. You can absolutely do this. You've got to have a little more faith in yourself. You're beat down, you're beat up, and I promise you, you think I'm tough, I think you're tough.
Oh my gosh. Chills. All right. So I know there's people listening that are like, she's speaking my language. She is talking right to me. How can they get involved with you? Where can they go? Talk to them about your program. I think you have one coming up here. What? Was it 2 weeks? Your next 10 pound takedown is coming?
Yeah, I don't know when this is going to air, but August 2nd is our next start. We have a monthly challenge, and it is called the 10-pound takedown. It is one of the most successful challenges that have ever been. I mean, I was asked to speak at Funnel Hacking Live in front of 6,000 entrepreneurs, all because of the success of my challenge. And it's great because for a very low price, you can actually spend 30 days with me. You can lose at least 10 pounds. And you can learn and unlearn what we've all been brainwashed to believe that I'm telling you is wrong. And it's not your fault. You need to understand it's not your fault. If you have struggled in the past to lose weight, it's not your fault. You have been taught wrong. Let me show you a different way. 10 pounds, 30 days. I will teach you something new every day. It's always the best place to get started. People always think, well, get started with a customized program. I don't want you to get started with my high ticket program. Don't dive right into the $1,000 program. I would rather you just wait, do the 30 days with me. Make sure that you like my coaching style first. Make sure that you like the way that I come off, because this might turn you off and you and I aren't going to get along, and I'm not going to fight with you. I don't care about your $1,000. I want you to find what works for you. If this works for you, good. But we also have a lot of resources out there. I do have my Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle podcast. I do have Instagram. I'm very active on it. I do have a very active YouTube channel where I release videos literally every single day, and they're really great videos. I've got my Facebook group. I'm out there all the time giving you guys lots of free chances to get involved. I've got my app that is almost done, my Code Red app. So a lot of good ways to get involved. I would encourage you just to dip your toe into it to see if it's for you. Of course, real food, water, and sleep is for everybody because that's a proper human diet, but you got to make sure the MOHAWK works for you before you commit.
Love it.
I love it.
All right.
Love it.
So I want you to simplify it, because you keep saying this in a way that I hope anybody understands, that real food, water, sleep, like that's as pretty much as simple as you can get. But you've got so many diets out there, you know, that it's whether it's the Weight Watchers or the keto is the big thing, or you know, I found some success when I ate paleo, but it boils down to simplified for me was real food, water, and sleep. You know, and so I'd love if you can just talk about that a little bit more in regards to simplifying. Don't overthink things, and what's that message that you give to people on that?
Yeah, a lot of programs out there. And look, I'm a capitalist. I believe that companies and individuals can create a product and the market can decide if they want to buy it or not. I'm absolutely for that. But I'm telling you that the weight loss industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's the most saturated industry out there. Everybody's got something, and they want you to continue to buy their product. And nobody's talking about what really matters. So the water is so huge because when we rebels, we drink at least a gallon a day. The bigger you are, the more you need. I drink a little bit more than that just because I've been doing Code Red for a long time and I'm used to it, and I sweat a lot. I exercise a lot, but that's just for me. And I'm a muscular girl, you know, I'm a thick girl. Thank you, Grandma. And so we don't drink enough water. We're chronically dehydrated in this society, and nobody's talking about it. They're just like, take this pill, take this shake. That's all you need. No, the basic of human life is water. And people say, oh, I can't drink a gallon. Baloney, you can when you cut out the Diet Coke, the caramel macchiatos, and the wine, and the copious amounts of coffee that you drink every day. It's bull crap. I call bull crap. You absolutely can. Yeah, you absolutely can. And so the water is huge when it comes to flushing, when it comes to helping to keep you full. And the studies have shown that a glass of water will actually wake you up faster than a cup of coffee. The sleep, we're chronically sleep deprived in our society, and your body senses the lack of sleep as stress and will hang on to body fat as a way to protect you. If you ain't sleeping, you ain't losing. And people, I got a lot of moms out there and perhaps listening right now who do that mommy martyr attitude where they're like, oh, well, I take care of my kids and I stay up worrying about them. But that's not some badge of honor that, don't pull that with me, because you moms are getting sicker and heavier by the week, by the month, by the year. You wonder why you feel like crap. You only got to wear LuLaRoe leggings because that's the only thing you can fit into. It's because you're putting everybody else before you. And you're allowing crap to happen in your household. That your 15-year-old does not need to be out until 1 o'clock in the morning. Moms, lay down the law. Parents, you regulate your household. It's a new day. You run the show. You are not your child's friend. You are their parent. You put those kids to bed early. Good night, prayers, hugs, kisses, whatever they need. Everybody go potty. Everybody bathe, the pajamas on, and in bed on time. And moms, dads, I want you guys in bed on time. You would not believe how good you feel with a full night's sleep. If you could just do those two things, you would feel tremendous as early as tomorrow morning. It is amazing how quickly the body is crying out to heal. And if you just treat it with respect and kindness and just do those two things, you will be amazed how much it will shine for you. And the real food part is like, well, what's real food? No, lean cuisines and hot pockets are not real food. Really, anything out of a box or a can, including Costco lasagna, that's not real food. But I would like to see you move in a direction of better decisions, get out of the drive-through and back into the kitchen. Taco Bell is doing nobody's health any good. All right. None of this whole bologna driving. Hey, give mommy one fry. Give mommy one fry just from the bottom of the bag. No, nobody needs that garbage. You guys know this. This is not rocket science here. You guys know what I'm talking about. Stop going through the drive-through. Start making your crap at home. And start feeding yourself. And you're like, well, my kids trade food at school. I don't care. Studies have shown that the 2 meals they get at home is enough to debunk whatever the heck they're trading their friends for at school. You can do this, parents. You can do this. Start making food at home. It's not that hard. It doesn't have to be fancy. We're talking steak and asparagus, eggs or bacon, cream cheese, cottage cheese, real food, guys. You know what this is.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I will tell you, the gallon water thing, that's harder at the beginning. But now I'm just kind of used to it. I've been tracking it and drinking it, and I actually wake up and I drink that before my coffee now, and I'm actually drinking less coffee because I'm drinking more water. Like Corey knows, like I could drink. You're gonna kill me. I could.
Oh, I do. No judgment.
I could drink pots of coffee.
Yeah, me too.
And I used to drink because I worked at Starbucks, so it was like accessible. So water was in coffee. So I got my water that way. Like literally all I drink was coffee. And if people didn't see me with a coffee cup, they were like, what's wrong? Right? That's all I drank. And so that wasn't doing me any good whatsoever. But we are so thankful that you decided to take some time to come on our show and really create the impact for your group of people. And we're so excited. Once again, I know you have your challenge coming. Is that the best way for people to get started with you?
Yeah, 10 pound, the number 10, POUND, 10poundtakedown.com is the best place to get started. You can just Google Cristy Code Red and a lot of different stuff will come up if you just kind of want to check me out without having to join the challenge too. But that's the best place, totally.
So everyone needs to go to YouTube, find you there, free video every day.
And it's a great channel. Like it's seriously an amazing channel. Like check it out.
Yes. So, all right, Cristy, I love your intensity. Like I am all fired up right now. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go on a jog. I don't know. Like you got me going. But anyway, Cristy, thank you so much. It's been a blast. You're the best.
Thank you guys for having me on. This is always so much fun to talk to you guys. So this is just fun. Doesn't even feel like work. And I do appreciate the time. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Cristy.
You know what? you are, anyway, we're gonna have to cut.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Because yeah, I'll just go to the next thing. All right, Ron. Just as I just mentioned, like I am like fired up, energy, like antsy, like ready to go do something good.
That's why I started my workout scheduled after this interview.
Oh, perfect. You're gonna actually get on a workout. So
I'm super stoked.
But let's get a couple of takeaways before we head on off to that workout. And what do you got for us to start here?
Well, this is kind of a stretch, but I think she talked about it multiple times. It's kind of a twofold thing. One is have the right mindset and make a commitment, right? So it's if you're gonna get on this weight loss journey, if you're gonna start Code Red and drink the water and eat healthy and cut out sugars and all that stuff, and get the right amount of sleep, you got to have the right mindset for that. You have the right commitment. If you're gonna start a business, you're gonna have to have the right mindset. You have to have commitment. And we talk a lot about mindset, you and I, and we talk a lot about my church. And again, this last service was around abundancy mindset. Like literally, that's what it was about, right? And I'm sitting there because I'm on the production team, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. But when I'm doing production, I'm not sitting next to Rachel, so I couldn't say that's what I'm talking about. She actually came up to me after and was like, that's kind of what you were talking about, usually like in your own words. I was like, exactly. I'm glad you caught that, but it lines up. The second thing, this is so important. Don't give up. Don't give up. You are so close to wherever it is you're called to be doing. You just have to keep pushing. You have options for this, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I got to get back to work. I got to do this. If you have a job and your job is to do whatever it is that you're paid to do you give up on that job, or you just keep doing it? You keep doing it because that's the job, that's the expectation. But the second you're an entrepreneur, somehow your mind gets flipped and you give up all the time. It's a job. Your entrepreneurial journey is your job. You don't give up, you see it through.
Yeah, love that. It was, my take on that was kind of the get knocked back down and get back up, right? Like, where do you go from that? And as an entrepreneur or in a family situation or whatever it is, right? Like you get back up and you don't give up. So, but the other piece that, I've felt since literally the day we met, Cristy, the genuineness that she has, the amount she cares, and the tough love, as she mentioned, that she gives is, to me, more impactful than any of the fluff, right? Any of like, if you want a real relationship, and if you want to really affect people, be direct, right? Be real, be genuine, give them that tough love when they need it, because the impact that you're going to be able to make is just so much greater with each individual that you're helping. So that's my favorite from Cristy. And, I want to just try to emulate that, for us and for our people and everything. So anyway, that's all we got today. I think that's a wrap for this one.
It is.
And to Cristy, thank you so much for being on the show. To everyone else, thank you so much for listening. Talk to you all soon.
Absolutely. Guys, have a great day. We'll see you soon.